In this episode, we're talking about how to prepare for a discovery call. There's a variety of ways that people will treat a discovery call. Some will treat it like a casual chat, or others like a high-pressure sales pitch. And then they wonder why they end up with bad fit clients or no sales at all. Well, the truth is that most business owners aren't properly prepared for that sales call. So of course, it ends up costing them dream clients. So in this episode, we'll bust the myths, you'll know how to begin your call with total clarity, and we'll reveal the most simple prep that will make even the most nervous person feel confident before the call. Let's dive right in. So let's begin with some rapid fire myth busting. Myth number one, the goal of a discovery call is to explain everything about your offer. Well, there are a lot of different steps during a discovery call, and the very last step should be discovering your offer. So we need to spend most of our time doing these other steps. Myth number two, you need to win the person over with charisma or persuasion. Well, what you certainly don't want to do is try and be somebody else or be over the top. And a real good strategy session or discovery call is all about that discovery. So this is a time to learn about them and to find out where they're at, where they want to go, what their needs are, what their obstacles are. So there's a whole lot that you really need to discover. And the more that you show focus and interest in them and their needs and their goals, that's what's going to go a lot further in a discovery call than you trying to impress them or persuade them. Myth number three, discovery calls are casual, unstructured conversations. So while they're certainly unscripted, unstructured would be a big mistake. An unstructured call will lead to an undesired finish. If you want to get to a certain place, and not every call will get there, but if you want to get to the place of a sale, there are certain steps you have to take to get there. Myth number four, preparation is reviewing their website or LinkedIn. So this is part of it. I actually love going and checking out a LinkedIn profile. I love going to their website. If they have a YouTube channel, I love going to their channel and watching an episode or two. But there's another half to this preparation. You can do a lot of study, and the more study that you do on them, that's a good step towards preparation. But there's some things that you can have them do to have them be better prepared for the call as well, and that will make the world a difference. Myth number five, it's pushy to have a defined next step before the call. In my experience, it's not pushy at all. People expect you to have a system or a process or a plan. And a lot of times, even if I let them start out with the talking, they will say, well, is it okay if I share this or this or that? Or they will share their intentions for the call if I don't state anything for mine. People like to have a plan. So even if at the beginning of a discovery call, they ask, hey, is it okay if we start out by me just telling you where I'm at? I'll confirm that and let them know, yeah, let's start there. I want to hear what your business is currently doing, where you're going, what you're trying to achieve, maybe some of the obstacles that you've had. Then we can talk about strategy and really see what the best fit would be for your business, right? So they're suggesting we go a certain way, and I can let them know, yeah, that is a good way to go. We'll go there and then we'll go here. Now, if there's one thing that you could take away from this episode, it's this. I highly recommend sending them a video beforehand or even having them attend a webinar before this discovery call. This has been a complete game changer. I mean, that phrase is overused. So we'll just say this has really been transformational to my discovery calls. And a big part of that is because there's a big educational piece to my strategy and to my service. I mean, I could tell people, yeah, I have a video production service. We put your videos on YouTube and so forth. But there's a big educational component to my business of the certain types of videos we create and why we do it that way and the results that we expect to get. So before following this step, when I would have a discovery call, I would lay out my thoughts of where this call could go, but there would end up being a lot of questions. And I love to teach. I love to answer questions. But we could easily take 30 minutes just teaching them strategy. But imagine if they had attended my webinar, or imagine if they had watched a video prior to the call that taught them and showed them examples of the strategy. Then when we get on a discovery call, we're really able to focus on them, their scenario, their business, their goals, because they already understand that strategy. Now, as you're doing your research, going to their LinkedIn page or their YouTube channel and trying to understand who they are, see if you can discover what their challenge is or what their pain is that they're trying to overcome. Recently, I had an appointment on the calendar and I was preparing for it, and so I did some of these things. And on their website, they had a few testimonial videos, and I watched those testimonial videos, and I noticed that a couple people said that they were referred to the company. Now, referrals were great, but I sensed that there was a pain point, that they probably get most of their clients and leads from referrals, and so they're not able to scale it. They probably don't have a good marketing strategy outside of referrals. So knowing who they are and what they do is step one, but knowing their pain or their challenge or what they're trying to solve. If you have a form that they can fill out where you can ask them some questions prior to the call, that can be really helpful in knowing that, because the more clarity you have on the outcome at the end of the call, the more confident you'll be going into the call. Let's talk about the difference between trying to get a sale and guiding the decision, right? You might look at those as being very similar. Let me just make it very obvious. Okay, so let's say you go to a doctor and you have a need, right? Maybe you have an injury or you have some type of ailment. The more questions that the doctor asks to really find out what the problem is and what the cause of the problem is, the more you're going to trust the solution that the doctor provides. But if the doctor quickly skips over a lot of the Q&A, they might ask you one or two questions and then quickly they know what the solution is. It could be some procedure, it could be some medication. You're going to have some doubts, you're going to have some concerns about moving forward with this doctor. So it's very important in your discovery call to ask these questions so that you can really understand where they're at and so that they can have confidence that you really do have a solution for them, that they are the most important thing here. So with my clients, we really spend a lot of time creating the right funnels that's going to create the right type of pre-frame that's going to educate them prior to the discovery call, that really positions them as the authority and the go-to expert. And we talk a lot about these strategy calls so they end up being a really good experience and having a higher likelihood that they're going to become your clients. Now that you know how to better prepare for discovery calls, the next step is increasing the number of appointments that are booked. In my video, Why Your Marketing Isn't Working, I reveal the hidden reason why you're actually not getting a lot of appointments booked. When you watch that episode, you'll know exactly how to fix it. So I'll see you there.